Here we go. I'm on mute over here. Welcome to the show. It's the Wake and Bake Show, Sunday morning. About an hour and a half to kick off. We'll go over lineups. We'll go over injuries. We'll go over some game bets. We'll go over some prop bets. We'll do all that here this Sunday. This fine Sunday morning. What up, Hammer? Oh, looks like Hammer is in the Matrix. Appreciate you, Hammer. It's been a pleasure. But yeah, welcome to the show. It's a Wake and Bake Sunday morning. Let me take this off for a sec until Hammer can get his ass back on here. But yeah, we've got some inactives and actives that came out. So we'll head to take a look at that. We've got a few players in, a few players out. So we'll go over all that. We'll go over all the games as well. There he is.
My bad. I heard your little intro and then it kicked me out. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, I still got some internet issues going on here. So like I said, by next week, everything should be straightened out. So I do apologize.
Oh, goodies. All right. So I think we've got inactives and actives came out, I think, a little while ago. So we'll go over some of that. Where's it at? Let me pull it up here.
Damian Pierce active.
Yeah. Damian Pierce is active, so he's going to be playing, which we kind of thought already. Let's see. Yeah, they didn't update it yet, I don't think, this morning.
Yeah, it's not a ton. They did say Pickens is supposed to get more and more, and Jalen Warren more carries. Do we believe that?
I mean, we'll see. They said he was a starter like what 2 weeks ago, and Najee's still carrying the ball more. But I think like we talked about that and kind of extensively, where Jalen Warren is just he has that role. He has that Tony Pollard-esque-ish kind of
Yep.
role. Just a different player, change of pace, better in open space, and they've been getting him the ball in open space. So
More explosive.
I think Najee will still be the main tote carrier, the goal line guy, and Jalen Warren's still going to be able to do his thing and give you solid, PPR two. Why running back to upside? So
Mhm.
as he has all season. But
Oh God! If I have to see another Aaron Rodgers update, I'm gonna jump off a bridge. Aaron Rodgers could start practicing next week and is still aiming to return Week 16. For what?
yeah, apparently Boyle is still going to be the starter even after
Look,
that performance. I don't know. But we got Ritter in
bad.
today.
It ain't
We got
good.
we got the change of quarterback for the
Oh boy.
Falcons. Heineke is questionable to begin with anyway,
Again.
but it looks like Ritter is going to get another chance here. I mean, after how many turnovers this guy's had. I don't know. I guess you got no choice, right? Especially if Heineke is questionable anyway. So
Rashad White official.
who?
Rashad
What'd you
White
say?
officially active.
Rashad White. Yeah, I saw that. Late in the week downgrade. So, I mean, we know Treylon Burks is out. So D Hop, very, very deep play like Westbrook, Ekine. Darius Slayton looks like he's not playing. Kendrick Miller out. Devontae Parker, questionable, but he's been out anyway. Zay Jones looks like he's going to give it a go. Noah Brown, of course, is out. So Nico and Tank, we can fire them up. Feel pretty happy about that. I mean, that Pierce Singletary backfield is still very much just in question. Like, what's going to happen there? And I have to start Singletary in one league, so I'm not that excited. I don't know what to expect here. T. Higgins out again.
Yep.
I guess deeper leagues, Irwin, or if you do any of the daily fantasies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all for the 1 o'clocks. 4 o'clocks, we already know Michael Wilson is out. We kind of talked about that yesterday. Marquise Brown's is questionable. Pascal's questionable as well. So Dortch could be that guy this week that kind of gives you that good production there. There is Tony Mecole Hardman out. Sky Moore gets an upgrade, whatever that means.
Nothing. I'll tell you exactly what it means. It means squat.
Nothing if they're gonna keep playing how they're
Rasheed
playing.
Rice would be the play if in that situation.
If you're desperate, you need to play. Rasheed Rice is the only wide receiver that you can play.
We're not playing
Not a
Marquez
ton of
Valdez-Scantling.
upside there either. I mean, we hope he scores a tutty, right? But
We're not playing MVS. We're not doing that.
I mean, we couldn't play MVS last year. We can't play him this year
Yeah, that's
either. I
true.
mean, I know Zay
I
Flowers a
was
little bit
being
banged up.
sarcastic after the.
Yeah, I know. But Zay Flowers a little banged up. It looks like he is going to be playing. I mean, he's kind of said that all week. He's going to wind up playing, but still's got that questionable tag. OBJ, same situation. He's a game time call, he said. So we'll see what happens there. Otherwise,
I don't know if I
Rashad
could trust
Bateman.
OBJ. No, that's
I don't trust
even
OBJ either,
Bateman's.
but
I don't trust Bateman either.
no, nobody trusts any of them.
No Mark
But if OBJ is
Andrews,
out,
which
who?
opens up some more. No Mark Andrews opens up some targets.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the running game gets a boost. Gus Edwards, Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, I like that. I think there was a few running back options on Underdog that I think I liked, and we'll go through some of that stuff. But I guess that's just the quick injury updates for the moment, for the time being. Let's see if they updated
Terrence
this again
Marshall's
here.
out, so Adam Thielen, even more of a play.
But we need a big week from Thielen. We got a lot of catching up to do in the sub league.
Oh, here we go. No, that's not
How
happening.
about the
And I still have Jalen
how about
Hurts,
the Alan Lazard
Bijan, and Olave.
situation?
Go ahead. What about
Mary
it?
in the building. What up, Mary? Appreciate you, Mary. But yeah, the Alan Lazard, I mean, scratched, gave him
What
the
happened?
deal. Well, it was like a healthy scratch. He didn't play. They didn't play him. And then what's his name? Salah came out talking about how he's got to be better or he's not playing up to his, his potential. Like, so Salah was talking a little bit of shit, trying not to be disrespectful about it. But I mean, come on, bro. The offense is fucking shit.
No, he stinks. He wasn't that good on the Packers. He just caught some touchdowns in the red area. So
we've kind of said that, like, bro, what? Like, Alan Lazard hasn't really done much. Like, obviously, Aaron Rodgers kind of ups the play when he was over there. But I mean, 4 years. What did they give him? 44 mil or something like that. I mean, even when
3
that happened,
years,
even
3
right,
years,
even with
33.
Rodgers there,
I think.
like, why would you give him that? He's not like that difference maker, that guy you want to spend the money on.
I mean,
No.
no, and I don't think it's a massive contract. In terms of the years and the money, it's just Aaron's guy, and he wanted him. I think he is a decent compliment to Garrett Wilson with Aaron Rodgers. So it just fell
I think
apart.
so too. Yeah, I just think that the money they spent, like you said, it's not a crazy ton of money, but it could have been well spent, like somewhere else. Maybe fix the offensive line or some shit like that, right? I guess that's my biggest
O
part of it.
line,
Is like,
yeah.
yeah, like you could probably find another Alan Lazard-ish type player,
You could.
for cheap. Evan in the building. What up, Kevin? At work trying to leave. Damn, Kev. Where are you working at anyway? Like what are you doing on this fine Sunday morning before
That's the
kickoff here?
spirit. Just take it. Fine Sunday morning. He's always on this fine Sunday
On this
morning shit.
fine Sunday morning. All right, I am going to pull up underdog on here. We're gonna go through each game, and we'll go through the game bets and also the kind of the player bets here. I know we did kind of talk extensively last night a little bit on the Jacksonville Houston. What is the line looking like there? What kind of bets are we looking at game wise, Hammer?
Jacksonville, Houston. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Houston at home, 1.5-point underdog, no pun intended. So it's really interesting. I think this game, the over under, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. The over under is 48. So they're anticipating that game to be a relatively high scoring affair. I do like the Texans and the points at 1.5. It's essentially a pick 'em. I would take the Texans plus 1.5. So I do like that. And then there's a ton of ways you can go here scoring. Tank Dell I like, Nico Collins I like, CJ Stroud I like, Travis Etienne I like in this game. I'm not as crazy about Ridley, but if you're feeling spicy with Calvin Ridley, maybe a little Trevor Lawrence action. So there's a lot to go around. Maybe a little Evan Ingram action. Dalton Schultz is viable. So there's a lot of meat on this bone for this particular game. I'm actually looking forward to checking it out. But as far as the line goes, Texans plus 1.5. I think I like that. You can even go with them straight up on the money line at plus 105. That's a little bit of a better value. So I do like the Texans here. So long as CJ Stroud just doesn't turn it over at an alarming rate. Turnovers are going to happen, but we haven't seen that from him. So we don't want that to kind of snowball on him. So if they could win the turnover battle, I think the Houston has a really good shot to win this game at home.
I mean, Jacksonville's been pretty good against the run, and with Pierce playing and him back, do we feel like, and usually we always pick higher, right? Do we feel like we could pick a lower, like on Singletary here, possibly on like maybe the
What's it at?
fantasy points? We're talking about
So his rushing is
basically
at 47 and 42.5.
yeah, rushing is 47.5. I mean, I'm not crazy. I think I just like the
47.
fantasy points, you know,
Okay.
lower. Like if we do a lower on the fantasy points, because he's not that involved in the pass game, and the rush defense
Right.
is good. So I might like maybe a lower on Singletary.
Under 10 points is interesting because if he gets a touchdown, then that's pretty much smashed to bits.
Well, yeah, of course. But Jacksonville's run defense is pretty good. I mean, Houston hasn't been great at the goal line, but yeah, obviously that would probably be smashed if he scores a tutty. Ridley 58.5 receiving yards, 10
4.5
fantasy
receptions.
points. Huh? 4.5 receptions. And then you got ETN
Yeah, that's not too bad.
65.5, 14 fantasy points. I mean, the rushing is not that bad, 65.5.
Mm-mm. No, it's not. And he's getting the bulk. He's getting that work. So I wouldn't mind the rushing for ETN. He's been a little inefficient at times, which is a little concerning. If you're going to prop bet on him. Let me
Or how about
look.
just a
The
tutty?
thing with ETN is he's getting these touchdowns. Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't had a touchdown though in his last 3 games. So
I mean, he's due. Does that
keep
mean he's
that in
due?
mind.
Peter, what's up,
But I
Peter?
think it's
More. You think what?
Yeah, it could. You could look at it from that perspective as well.
Evan said works for a logistics company. What I'm doing on this fine Sunday morning is trying to get some tips from Hammer on them bets. Yep.
Mhm.
We getting into it here.
Appreciate that,
Peter said
Kev.
start sit Calvin Ridley or Nico Collins.
Psh. Nico Collins is going to give you the safer floor. There's no doubt about that. But Calvin Ridley gives you fantastic. I think they give you virtually the same upside. But with the full complement of weapons, we've seen that Nico Collins has some of these up and down games. He's really good, but Tank Dell is over there making explosive plays as well. And then you got Dalton Schultz, right? Is really, really good at the tight end spot. I mean, with Noah Brown out, I think I'm leaning Nico Collins here, but it's really hard to split these two. We know Calvin Ridley's fantastic, but I'll roll with Nico Collins. CJ Stroud is just playing better than Trevor Lawrence overall. So give me Nico Collins here, but it's incredibly close.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Ton of targets for Nico even last week, even though Dell was the one that wound up going off. I think I'll go Nico as well. But Ridley is a very interesting play. I'll go Nico by a hair. We'll go Nico by a hair, Peter. Richard, full PPR, Cup or Thielen?
Taking Cooper Cup.
Yeah, I'm taking Cooper Cup as well. I do like Thielen, but if Cup is playing, like it's hard to not play a guy that gets like that many targets.
Hmm.
Not that
Yep.
Thielen's not getting targets, because Thielen's still getting, double-digit targets as well, but those Cup targets coming from Stafford, I'll take that.
Yep.
I think he was totally off the injury report as well, Cup, so I don't think that ankle is anything really
Hmm.
to worry about. Nick, what's up, Nick? Anyway, you'd start Jalen Warren over Swift, Puka, or DJ Moore, full PPR.
Yeah, I'd consider over Swift. I think we had a very similar question yesterday. With Swift, Puka, and DJ Moore. I don't think it involved Jalen Warren, but yeah, I'd certainly look at Swift at this point. Puka's tough because listen, he still gets good targets. Not as much when Cooper Cup plays. We're not playing DJ Moore's the lock here. But yeah, I'd consider him over Swift, and the Eagles have a tough matchup with Buffalo. Now I know Buffalo hasn't been the greatest defensive team as much as we thought, with the injuries that they have on their defensive side of the ball. So yeah, I consider Jalen Warren over Swift at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a conversation, but I don't I don't think I could do it yet. I don't think I can do it yet, but that would be the only conversation. I don't think you can play him over Puka, and I don't think you can play him over DJ Moore. Even with the healthy Cooper Cup, I don't think you can play Warren over him.
No.
So, conversation for Swift, but I wouldn't be willing to do it just yet. Mary says, "Is Tua missing flesh?"
Swift is tailed off
Go ahead.
just a little bit, but
He
Swift
has,
is tailed
he
off
has,
just a
but I'll
little
just still
bit,
take that
since
offense
that
and
early season, but he's yeah.
what is Swift at right now on the season? RB
10,
10.
RB10.
Yeah, I mean he's getting 15 to 20 touches. Like I'm gonna still keep playing that. I'm just gonna play that every week. Fuck it. I mean,
Yeah, that's a fair point to be made because that Pittsburgh offense is just not good. But Jalen Warren is making the most of his opportunities, so
oh, for
that's a tough
sure,
one because he is so explosive. But
it is.
it's definitely a close call. I do it if you're looking for upside and you're looking for a game breaker. I do it.
Yeah, I'm still roll with my boy Swifty. Is Tua missing flesh? Divot still stuck in a Jets
Mhm.
player's grill. I did see that. I didn't see it like
I saw
extensively.
that too.
I think I saw. You saw it? Yeah, I saw like a brief picture of it, but I didn't really look too much into it. But yeah, that happened. Did you see CMC? I think his wife,
Yes,
I
I
think
did.
it was, wound up taking that video of him, like, showing his body and all the bruise and the bed, like, the blood stains on the bed and shit. And he takes
I
it,
saw that
he
this
takes a
morning.
beating, and that's what happens, right? This is why, the weight of a player, right? The size of a player, like that, it matters at the running back position because coaches don't want to put you through that if your body can't handle it, right? I mean, and that's why we see more of these, two-headed backfields. And one of the reasons why I didn't like love Achan as high as everybody loved him, just because I don't think he's gonna get like the majority of the work. Like his body can't take what CMC had on his body. Like there's very few running backs that can take that kind of beating, that get the majority of the work, right?
Yeah, but it's so interesting because they have Eli Mitchell. Now I know every time he gets a healthy workload, he gets hurt, but I'm very surprised that this season Christian McCaffrey has gotten as much work as he's gotten with Eli
Mm.
Mitchell virtually healthy for the whole year. Now you could look at it like I said from both sides of the coin, right? Eli Mitchell gets hurt if you give him, a solid workload. But damn, don't you want to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy? Like he's getting banged up, man.
Well, I think because you're right. Like we didn't expect him to get as much work. Like obviously he's one of those three down guys, but we saw last year them even like plug in Eli Mitchell. When he was healthy, at least give him a bunch of carries, and that's
Hmm.
nice. Keep CMC fresh a little bit. But at the same time, like, we did go through the whole running back thing in the offseason, right? About paying the money to these guys, right? So does that have something to do with it where it's like, all right, like, fuck it. If we're paying you then this kind of money, then we're gonna run you into the ground. Like, but at the same time, CMC is what he is, and you want him on the field regardless. He's just that good. So if he can take the brunt of it and he's okay with it and he's staying healthy, then fuck it. Then that's how we roll it.
Yeah, it is a it is a double-edged sword, right? Because like you said, you want him out there. But listen, San Francisco has bigger aspirations than just winning some regular season games, right? For San Francisco, the time is now to get to the Super Bowl and win it. So from that standpoint, I'm very surprised that Eli Mitchell has not received more work. Very, very surprised. So
He hasn't been exactly healthy either. Which is crazy. The guy barely plays and he still can't stay healthy. Simp, what's up, Simp?
you think
Damn it,
he's getting
boys.
banged
Zay
up in
Jones
practice?
active. Ridley or Kincaid? I'll let you know if my TV's smashed by this evening. I'm gonna still go Ridley here. Still gonna go Ridley, but I feel you.
Yeah, I think I lean that way as well. It's I mean, listen, Kincaid has been fucking fantastic as we've outlined basically since the Dawson Knox injury, but Ridley just has a way higher ceiling than Kincaid.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna go with Ridley there. You know what's funny to talk about smashing things? So, when I used to play video games, right? A lot more when I was, younger years ago, right? I used to keep, like, my old controllers, so I had something to smash that wouldn't be, like, the controller I needed to use. So I kept extra controllers to smash those around, because you know how it could get, especially when you're fucking playing Madden or 2K and the bullshit happens.
Yep. You know what's funny about that is that especially when we were like all together and playing the game and shit, one guy would have a controller where the R1 button is a little funky, the stick was a little loose. Like, who got the good controller would be the question of the day.
That's right. Which one doesn't stay still, like, the guy still starts moving even when it's
Right.
staying still, yep.
Yeah.
Uh
Yep.
Daniel, what up, Daniel? All right, guys. Lockett over Reed. Bad choice. So Ridley or Downs PPR.
I think yesterday we had a very similar question as well, and I think I went with Josh Downs here, if I'm not mistaken. I think Josh Downs will have a pretty solid game. Um Listen, Ridley has a terrific ceiling, but Ridley's floor is pretty low as well. And the Colts have a really good matchup against Tampa Bay in the dome. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna go Josh Downs here. The Colts are coming off their bye. I think Josh Downs is gonna do some good work. So yeah, give me Josh Downs here.
Oh, man. It might have to be Josh Downs. But again, we do like Ridley for this particular game. I'm gonna go with Downs. I'm gonna go with Downs. But Ridley is close. That's not an easy decision there. And then Lockett over Reed. I mean, that's tough because Reed obviously is getting some work. Doesn't have like the crazy high upside, but he just gets work. Had that tutty where Jordan
He's
Love,
yeah, he's been really
tried to
good.
fucking thread the needle. I'll give him that one, Hammer.
Oh, give him everything because he's been fantastic the last 2 weeks against teams they should have lost to. So let's
And
call it what it
Seattle's
is.
offense is just fucking horrid right now. Done with Lockett.
Mhm.
Simp got Dell, Bijan, and Ridley locked in there. Herbert to go this evening. Okay. All other players have played. Dell, Bijan, and Ridley locked in. There you go, Simp. There you go. We'll see
Mhm.
how it turns out. See how it turns out. We've been hitting on these lately, so I was thinking Downs myself. Yeah, Daniel. I mean, it's tough to not play Calvin Ridley, especially after what he did last week. But Minshew does throw the ball a little bit. I mean, you've got Pittman there as well, but Downs is one of those nice little route running wide receivers who they're going to try and get him the football for sure.
And he can be explosive. We've seen that on a
Oh yeah,
number of weeks where he catches the ball and he just takes off. Like Downs is
takes off.
legitimately explosive.
Hmm. Bryce, what's up, Bryce? Fellas, start two. All right, we got to start two here. Schultz, Thielen, Kirk, or Adams.
See, the problem with Devontae Adams is they have a really tough matchup in Kansas City. I think it's Adam Thielen here, and man, it's really hard not to play Devontae Adams, but that Kansas City defense might be all in Aiden O'Connell's lap. Schultz is mighty tempting. I don't think I'm playing Christian Kirk. Give me Thielen and Devontae Adams. I'm not in love with the Devontae Adams play this week, but he's still a guy that can go out there. He can make catches, and you got to believe he's going to get some work done. So give me Adam Thielen and Devontae Adams, but I'm not in love with the Devontae Adams matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go Thielen and Adams too. Thielen's good matchup. Adams, like you said, not great, but I don't think you can just sit Devontae Adams because it doesn't matter the defense. He's that kind of wide receiver where he can have 15 damn catches just out of nowhere. It doesn't matter even with a shit quarterback. So I think Kirk is an interesting play, but I can't not play Adams. Like they're gonna try and get him the
Yeah.
football. So I have to think I have to go Devontae. I mean, the last 2 games, 13 targets each. So, I mean, yeah, he hasn't been great or hitting on a ton of them, but I'm not complaining about
He had a
13
solid
targets.
game last week.
I mean, both weeks, 86 yards, 82 yards, had the tutty
Yeah.
last week, so it hasn't been great. And against 2 pretty good defenses, Jets and Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, we're still going Adams, and then I'll take Thielen. Take Thielen with you. Get over half an intel pretty safe. I'm staring at that Pickett screen.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
and they do
funny.
have the special Lamar Jackson for half a yard. So if you're not on Underdog, go sign up. You can use Dynasty Life Fantasy as the code, which should be down there in the description of the video. But they'll match whatever you put in. You can get on. But yeah, I think the interception is That's interesting. Let's see. Najee 48 rushing yards. Jalen Warren 51 rushing yards. A tutty 18.5 receiving.
Mm. 2 and a
What's he
half
been
reception. I
doing
like the
receiving?
receiving work for Warren.
Yeah, what's he been doing receiving wise? I mean, 9 yards,
Let's
16 yards hasn't been great. Well, just the fantasy points.
at rushing, man. Yeah,
You like the
you could roll
rushing?
with the fantasy points because he's. Now, I think the fantasy points just because he can do so much. And they said that they're going to get him the ball more in the last 3 games. He's been really good, bro. He's averaging 8 yards a carry, 6.73, and 14, basically 14 and a half over his last 3 games. So, respectively. So, on 35 carries, 2 touchdowns in his last
If you're
3
gonna take
games.
one,
Yeah.
if you're gonna take one of them, it'd probably be the fantasy points. Would probably be my best guess on it. What's the line on this Pittsburgh and Cincy game?
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. So Pittsburgh is a 1.5 point favorite on the road. Obviously, no Joe Burrow, no T. Higgins. The over under incredibly low, 36.5. I actually might take the under there on that Pittsburgh Cincinnati game, under 36.5. I like that. This is a tough game to kind of gauge because Pittsburgh offensively is so bad, but they still find ways to win. I do think Pittsburgh wins this game. You can take them at -1.5 at the -110 price. So those are kind of 2 things that I like there. Steelers -1.5, over under. We're taking the under there at 36.5. I think this is an extremely low scoring game. Um, yeah, 36.5. I like the under there. I could see a 20-10 game, 20 to
Yeah,
13.
I don't know if I like taking anything on Cincinnati on offense. I mean,
Joe
Chase,
Mixon,
Mixon. I mean, maybe they feed Mixon a little bit, but we know that he's not very efficient to begin with. So I mean,
right?
67 rushing yards, maybe the fantasy points at 12.65. With that little bit of PPR upside, maybe.
Maybe get some dump offs. Yeah, yeah.
Probably just stay away from it, but if you want to bet it, I'd do the fantasy
I'm
points.
not mad at
All
that.
right, how about the
I'm
Tampa
not.
Bay
Go ahead.
Indianapolis? What are we looking at there?
This is a very, very interesting game. I do like Indianapolis in this game at home. I do like Indianapolis -2.5. Over under is pretty respectable at 44.5. I don't have a good gauge on the scoring. If I would take the over under, but I do like the Colts here at home -2.5. They're hanging around. They're 5-5, so they're pretty solid. Gardner Minshew. They're coming off a bye. So you think they'd have all their weapons kind of firing on all cylinders. Tampa Bay 4-6. I do like the Colts at home here, -2.5.
Okay. We just saw Baker's pass. What is it? Hmm.
240.
Oops. There we go. Passing and rushing yards just went up like as we were looking at it. So I guess maybe people started betting on that and they decided to up it. But interception, maybe. I probably just stay away from Baker. Rashard White, I mean, he's been banged up, so I don't know how much do we love Rashard White. He is gonna play, so fantasy points maybe.
Rashard White's been pretty damn good.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
like
been real
Rashard
good.
White. What's the receiving on Rashard White?
Receiving is 29.5 receiving yards, or he's got to get over 4 catches.
He's done that 4 out of the last 5 games
Receiving yards
on the catches. On the
on the
catches, he's
catches. So
over.
he's got to get
Yeah,
5 catches.
he's over that in 4 out of his last 5. Actually, yeah, 4 out of his last 6 games. The receiving yards, he's done that 4 out of the last 5, over 29.5. In the last game, he had 28. So I do like the receiving work for Rashad White. But if you want to feel more comfortable, you could go with the fantasy points because he is getting touchdowns. He's got 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games. So the receiving,
Okay.
the total fantasy points makes some sense.
Yeah. So you could go. So what you said? Maybe receptions, receiving yards, or fantasy points, kind of either one of those.
I think fantasy points. I think fantasy points is the best bet to
Same.
go because he does get a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I feel that. I feel that. Mike Evans, 66 receiving yards, basically 12 fantasy points. Chris Godwin, 50 receiving yards, 9.5 fantasy points.
I think I like Mike
Or
Evans on the
Tutty.
touchdown.
I was just gonna say, or the Tutty. Mike Evans on the Tutty. Got the little 1.25
He's got
points on
7
it.
of them things.
Let's go.
He's got 7 of them things in 10 games. That's a pretty good percentage to me.
About what's Auden been doing lately? Cade Auden,
Yeah,
4
boy,
for 49
Cade
last
Otton.
game. Like Auden.
He's pretty up and down.
Yeah. I'd probably stay away, but if you wanted to, receiving yards, 28.5 is not it's not crazy, but I'd probably stay away. All right, here we go. Check out the Indy side. Gardner Minshew. 14 fantasy points, 14.5
Gardner Minshew's
actually.
been too weird for me to bet on.
Yeah. I was just gonna I usually stay away from most of the quarterbacks like that. But all right, JT, 76.5 rushing yards or 20 rushing
He's
attempts,
only did that
14
once.
fantasy points. I mean, does he break out this game
Certainly possible.
on some rushing yards? Or
He's got
I'm
3
probably just
touchdowns
skipping
on the
over him.
season.
Yeah. Here we go. The Josh Downs, 51 receiving yards. They don't have a fantasy points for Josh Downs, which is interesting. Just receiving yards or receptions. I could go with the 51.5 receiving yards. I don't love it, but if we're rolling with
Josh
Downs
Downs
this
has been
week,
up and down. He's been up and
we
down
might
as
as
well. Like
well.
he'll give you Yeah. Yeah, he's been a little up and down, but I think I feel comfortable rolling with him for the
Mhm.
51 yards.
Tay, what's up, Tay? Taysom or Komet? Which one would you drop to pick up Deontay Johnson?
I don't think I'm dropping Deontay.
Oh, pick up Deontay. Would you drop Taysom or
Oh,
Komet?
to pick
Like
up
who
Deontay.
who do
Got
you like? Yeah. Who do we like better? We did see Taysom kind of come back to earth a little bit last game.
it. Mm-hmm. Komet wasn't great last week with Justin Fields back, but you gotta imagine that Komet will find his way.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah, does Taysom
I think
just
I'm
kind of
keeping
fizzle?
Komet.
Yeah, does Taysom kind of fizzle out like Komet can't really fizzle out. He's going to have up and
I
down
think
games, but he's always going to be involved in the offense, right? Taysom, like that's always been weird with him. Like they involve him in a bunch of games, and then all of a sudden, like he just disappears.
yeah. Yeah, I think I'm keeping Cole Komet if that's the route you want to go.
What if Taysom keeps doing what he's been doing?
But like you said, the last
Yeah. I mean, I've always said all season, right? You can play Cole Kmet and just be happy. You're going to have a top 7, 8-ish tight end. Like he's just going to have boom weeks, and some weeks he's not. But he's just a tight end. Just play him every week and just live with the results. You know,
Mhm.
live with the results. So I'll take Komet just on the fact that I don't trust Taysom Hill. It's been biting me all this season because I've been saying don't play him except for like the last 2 weeks. Because after a point, it's just like
Mhm.
okay, you just have to play this man that they're using him. So Diaz, Toilet Bowl
That's
League,
right.
currently in 11th place. Failed contender. Woke up and chose violence. I feel it. Put Andrews on the block. What could I add to the Joku for Andrews? Def feel like I could win this Toilet Bowl for the 101. So we're trying to go Andrews on the block, failed contender. So we're trying to grab Njoku and trade Andrews. Being that Andrews is hurt, it's like you're gonna have to pay a tax basically to go to Njoku. I don't know if that's necessarily worth. I don't know if I want to pay that, depending what that tax is. Like, what am I paying on top of Andrews to go get Joku? I know we just had the big game. We talked about it yesterday. What, the 15 targets? But oh, he's trying to acquire Andrews. Did I read this fucking wrong? Okay, what could I add to Njoku? Okay, somebody put Andrews
He's
on the
trying to give up
block. What could you
Njoku
add to?
for Andrews.
Okay, so we want to get Andrews. You want to win this toilet bowl for the 101. All right, so what can we add to Njoku? Well, what do you have? I mean, it's probably like Njoku is like he doesn't matter. Like people don't care about people just don't care about him. Like I don't know how much he's necessarily worth. Now we did just have the big game, like we said. So what's it going to cost you a late first and Joku to go get Andrews? I mean, what do you have some
Mm-hmm.
assets maybe?
Yeah,
What
it's
assets do you have maybe that you can give up with Njoku instead of, first? Or can you give like a second Joku and a piece or something like that? What are you thinking, Hammer?
yeah, that's a tough one because like I said, I would like to see what are you thinking, Diaz? Like what are what are your other pieces that you have to offer? And is it worth it at at that spot just to win win a toilet bowl toilet bowl league? So it's what are you thinking? What are you trying to give up? That's kind of what it boils down to. I don't know if it's even worth it at that point.
Oh, I mean, I still want Andrews. If Andrews is on the block, that means he's available, right? That means that there's a deal to be made somehow or some way. So we need to for sure see what we can offer up for Andrews. Toilet bowl or not, like regardless, that is, I know we want to win the toilet bowl, but the real goal I would say is to try and get Andrews. I know we want the 101, but can we get Andrews? I mean, it's not the end of the world if we have the 102. You know what I mean? If we're still acquiring Andrews.
I think you put
So here we go. Hold on. Don't want to cannibalize my starters. Has this just enough to beat the bottom teams? Okay. Here we go. Stroud, Lawrence, Khalil Gibbs, Deontay, Kirk, Jigba, Mims, Myers, Mooney, Burrow, Kendre,
Can't give up Deontay.
Schoonmaker. Well, what is that? Does that team have any needs? Like the team that has Andrews right now? Does he need wide receiver? Does he need running back? Right? What does he need? It could cost you a Deontay. It could cost you a Kirk. I'm not giving up Jigba, Myers, Mooney. I mean, I'm okay with giving up any of those guys if we need to. Obviously, we're not giving up a quarterback. He needs wide receiver, running back, and tight end.
Yeah, I'd
So
be
we need wide
comfortable
receiver,
with
running back,
giving up
and tight end.
Deontay.
Go ahead.
I mean, see if you could part with maybe Mooney first, maybe Myers, maybe Mims. Float that out there. I don't
Yeah,
think I'm giving up
I don't think that's
JSN.
enough.
Christian Kirk, maybe even Christian Kirk, maybe.
I think Kirk is going to be the better. He thinks he could get back into the playoffs. So, all right. So, Diaz, if he thinks he can get back into the playoffs, let's give him somebody that's scoring points, basically, which is going to be Christian Kirk out of this, right? So, it'd be Kirk, Njoku. What else do we got to throw on top of Kirk and Joku to get Andrews? Is it a second? Is it a third and Mims? Do you have to give up a Mooney as well? I mean, I like Mooney. I'm stashing him in a few leagues, being that he's an upcoming free agent. So I'd start with that. Kirk, Joku, and maybe a second. It's going to cost you to get to Andrews.
Yeah.
But he is hurt, so maybe just go with Kirk and Joku right now. Give him the points that he's going to get right now. Give him Kirk and Joku and just kind of start the convo from there. I think I'd probably start there. Do you think that's enough to at least start it? You got a ton of picks as always. So yeah,
I
I mean, you know what to do.
I definitely think so. And because, like you said, because Andrews is hurt, that kind of you might not have to pay as much as you would
You
if he
make him
wasn't
pay the
hurt.
tax for
So
the
I
points
think
you're
I
about
think
to
if you
give him right now. Right?
right, so try and flip the script a little bit. Yeah.
You definitely need to fix your internet, bro. This shit is annoying. It's so your lagged response to me. I hate it.
All right. So I won't be on the show, and then I'll see you next week. How about
Shut
that?
your fucking mouth. God damn, this kid. Um, so Kirk and Joku, does that starts it? If you've got a plethora of picks, like let's not fuck around. Throw him a late second with it, right? Or 2/3 maybe.
Looks like he sent the trade.
All right, where is he? Ton of picks as always. I like it. Trade 10. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's like a mascot. TS said, "No, we need Hammer."
I just moved into my new place. I call Verizon on what was it, Friday. They said the earliest they could be here is Wednesday. So I'm using the Wi-Fi from upstairs. The Wi-Fi is shit. I understand. But I'm here.
You could get you could
So
get the
kiss my ass.
you get the little like Wi-Fi extender thing. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, but there's no point of that. If I'm not gonna go out and spend money on a Wi-Fi extender when I have Verizon coming here in a couple days.
And you just return it, bro. You gotta maximize what we're doing here.
Get the
Apes in the building. What up, Apes? Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. All in one. There he is. What's up, brother? JT, Olave, or Puka at the flex?
That's an interesting question. Full PPR. Man, I love what I saw from Olave with Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston ain't the one playing though.
No, he's not. Fucking garbage. I think it might be Jonathan Taylor in a good matchup.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with Jonathan Taylor as well. It's tough, Puka Olave to not go with those guys. But JT's getting the workload now, and we know what JT can do when he gets the workload. So it's hard to want to, you don't want to miss that big game. So Marty in the building. What up, Mari? Marty, Kyron, Puka, or Godwin start 2.
Ooh. Shush. Ay, ay, ay. Well, with Rashad White playing, I think I'm sitting Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I think I might be with you there. I
I
like
like
Kyron. I like Puka.
I
Everyone
like
hasn't been great.
Kyron's
It's
touchdown
been
upside. Puka.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Puka. Godwin hasn't been good, but he hasn't been like horrible. He's giving you like decent production. But Puka, yeah, we got to go with Puka and Kyron Marty. Mari, Sutton, Addison, and Pickens start 2.
Sutton and Addison.
Oh, that's the same I was gonna say. Sutton and Addy. I think we got to roll with those. Amari just it's tough because now with the QB there, they're throwing a lot of short passes. So,
Mhm.
can he break one or get a big play? Yeah, but I think we got to roll with Sutton and Addison there. Bull may leave the Giants. I did hear that. Yeah, Kirk Joku in the second for Andrews. All right, nice shit. Good shit. Diaz. Leave Hammer and his Mint Mobile internet alone, Stevie. All right. I'll let him live.
It's not Mint Mobile, god damn it. It's close. It feels like it though. I'm not even gonna front, but
Let
it's
him live.
interesting because when I got here, when I got here, I set up my TV, set up the PS5, set up all the electronics, the Alexas, the this and that, and everything's running okay. But when you're streaming, you need that high quality service. And yeah, it's just been a bit of a struggle. So I'll be back in full force next week. Hopefully I could get them in here before Tuesday's show. So we'll see. God damn it.
High quality H2O. Oh, man. It's water from a glacier.
Clearly somebody had their
Oh,
Mountain Dew this morning.
Bobby Boucher. Mm. All right. How about the New Orleans, Atlanta? What are we looking at here, Hammer?
This is a fucking shit show and a half. I'm staying away from this game. I have no idea what to expect. These two teams just are not very good. Atlanta, 1.5 point underdog at home, over under 41.5. I'm staying away from this game. I have no clue what to expect. If I think the Saints are going to win, Atlanta will win. If I think Atlanta wins, the Saints win. I have no pulse on this game whatsoever. Derek Carr is back, so it could just be a complete shit show. I'm staying away from the game. I don't like the weather, and the 1.5 point spread kind of tells you everything you need to know. No, thank you.
Can we bank on Carr throwing the Intel?
I mean, I don't like any of it. I don't. I don't want it.
Uh, Alvin Kamara.
He hasn't thrown. He hasn't
Oh,
thrown it. Derek Carr hasn't thrown an interception since week 7.
oh yeah, he's due.
He's only has 4 on the season.
Uh,
So
he's due
make of
against
that what you will.
Atlanta. He's throwing a pick. He's throwing a pick today.
That's fair. That's
Alvin
fair.
Kamara, 36.5 receiving yards, 12.5 rushing attempts.
It's pretty high.
All right. Olave,
Yeah, I like the
68
receiving
and a
work
half.
for Kamara.
You like the receiving work for Kamara?
I I do.
Or just roll with the points? 14.5.
You can do that as well.
Take it how you want it.
Alvin Kamara has been really good since he came back. Yeah, Alvin Kamara has been really good since he came back. Total production wise between rushing and receiving. So the fantasy points are probably the safest route to go.
Yeah, I feel that. No Mike Thomas. So you've got Olave, about 68.5 receiving yards, 12 fantasy points, or Rashid
Yeah,
Shaheed, a measly 36.5 receiving yards. That's one play for him.
that is one play. That's a nice little that's a nice value there considering no
I
Michael
like that.
Thomas.
I like that. All right. A.T. Perry could be a good play as well. I might like A.T. Perry's. A.T. All right, let's check out the Atlanta side. Desmond Ritter. We can count on either an into or a fumble for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pick which one you want, but I think he's definitely having one of them. All right,
I wish it
Bijan,
would be just
56.
turnover.
Yeah, there should be just a turnover, but there's not, unfortunately. All right, Bijan, 56.5 rushing yards, 14 attempts, or maybe just the 12 fantasy points, or the 19.5 receiving yards.
Oof. The points are really good for Bijan because like I said, I feel like they woke the fuck up. So I'd take the points. 12. What is it? 12?
Yeah. Yeah, 12. I think I like that too.
Yeah, I'd take the points.
Take it sure. Mary said Carr is good for 2 sacks. Was that one of the? Yeah, 1.5 sacks taken. Yeah, that could be a good. I like that, Mary. All right. McBride or Schultz all in one said. No Michael
Mm, mm,
Wilson.
mm, 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 mm.
Hollywood questionable.
They've both been pretty damn good over the last basically uh McBride has been really good over the last couple of weeks. Schultz has been pretty good ever since week 4. Um yeah, give me Trey McBride here. Pretty close though,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go McBride as
I think
well
they both
in
finish
a
in the
close
top
one.
10 for the week.
Yeah, for sure. And then we've got Warren or Javante.
Devontae's
Javante
getting
against that
some good
Browns
work.
D.
Yeah. I think I like Jalen Warren, man. He just gives you
Mhm.
that explosive upside, even if he's getting 12 opportunities. Like Javante's not, there's not enough explosiveness there. Has 2 receiving touchdowns on the year, but there's not enough explosive plays for me with Javante. I know, like I said, he's getting solid work, but give me Jalen Warren here with some really good upside.
Yeah, I think with a different matchup, I might like Javante, but in this particular case, give me Warren as well. Give me Warren as well. And then Village, what up, Village and Eden? Dell or Camara at the flex?
Ooh. That should be a really high scoring game in Houston against Jacksonville. Mm, mm, mm. Give me Tank Dell here.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with
I hear the Camara.
no,
I wouldn't be mad
might
about
go with
Camara,
Dallas.
but give me Tank Dell.
Might go with Dell as well. Nah, fuck that. Give me Camara. Give me Camara with Carr back. I mean, I know he likes to dump it off. This could be Atlanta's defense is pretty decent. I mean, this could be a game that Camara gets some good receiving work. Give me Camara by a hair. I do like Dell though, but just give me the running back that's going to get the ball a ton. Diaz said Dynasty Theory. I've clinched to several leagues where my team is clearly a favorite. Awesome. What y'all thoughts on leveraging by tearing down for a player in the first for guys like Ayuk, DJ Moore, Puka, Dell, McCaffrey, Devonta? So I'm all for like tearing down as long as it's in like the same tier, and it kind of just depends on, well, not the same tier. I shouldn't say it that wise. Just depends on who we're talking about. Like I'm not tearing down from JJ or Chase or CD or AJ Brown. Like I'm not off of those like huge difference makers. I'm not right. I teared down from Waddle to Pittman in the first in one league, right? I teared down from Waddle to Godwin in the first in one league. And like I'm more okay with those kind of types. So it just depends on who you're trying to get rid of here. But I'm fine with grabbing Ayuk in the first, DJ Moore in the first, Puka in the first. Just tell me who it is that you have on the squad that you're trying to tear down from. McGrew, Mixon, Henry, Eckler, Kamara, bench 1.
Ooh. I'm playing Eckler and I'm playing Kamara, so it's between Mixon and Henry in this
Mhm.
scenario.
Yep.
I think I'd sit in Mixon. Henry against the Panthers. I think I might sit Mixon. That's tough
Yeah, I
though. I
think
mean, because you would think with the you would think with the Burrow injury that Mixon would probably be leaned on a little more, but with his inefficiency and how often are they going to get down near the red area? So yeah, I'm sitting Mixon in this one.
yeah, I think I'm with you. I'll probably sit Mixon as well. Probably sit Mixon as well. Appreciate you, AJ. And should I sell Sharps? What for on these clinched teams?
I don't think
I
Sharp is going
think
to
that
net you a whole lot.
yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna he's worth a second. I mean, that's what you would probably get for him. But I mean, if you are clinched already and going into the playoffs, I might just want to hold them. If you have any RBs that go down, and you never know it. Right now, Kenny Walker's hurt, right? So the Sharps have some kind of
Hmm.
potential for you for a big spot start in one of those, in the ship or right before the ship. Like, can he possibly give you a start in some of those situations? You never know. So I would just hold on to him. I don't think what you can get back, which would be a second round pick, worth a player or just a second round pick. I don't think it's worth it to move on from him just yet, because you could do that in the offseason, right? I mean, you don't have to do that now. You could do that after the season and still get the same exact thing. So let me just hold on to him just in case. But what do you think, Hammer?
Yeah, I feel that, and I always think that these running backs, especially these backup running backs that we talked about, they can provide a boost to you, can provide some value. I had a very similar situation with Eli Mitchell a couple of years ago, where he came in and he just went ham and kind of vaulted me to a championship appearance and a championship win. So you never know what you can find. Now, the state of that Seattle offense isn't very good, so it's interesting. But he's getting some solid work, both in the rushing and the receiving game. I think he's getting like 15, 16 opportunities a game. So, yeah, I would hold Shrubs. And listen, the running backs are very hard to find that are going to give you at least some sort of stable production. Sharps is giving you RB2 production, mid RB2 production at this point. So I like his involvement, all things considered. And the last two games, he's playing 88 and 85% of the snaps respectively. He's got 29 carries in his last two games, and he's got 10 catches on 10 targets in the passing game over the last 2 weeks. So he's been pretty good. Stable, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Joshua, what's up, Joshua? Godwin or London full PPR?
Give me Godwin. That Atlanta
Yeah,
offense is shaky, and they're playing a decent Saints secondary. I, I don't like
it's
that
true. I
game
mean,
one bit.
Lattimore is out, but
Okay,
I'd probably go London. And the reason why I probably want to go London is because Godwin hasn't been like great. He's been giving you kind of decent production. I think you can feel safe with like maybe 4 or 5 catches, like 60, 70 yards or something like that. But
more
I feel
upside with
like London
London.
could give you that as well. So yeah, just I think. I mean, I don't know, and I could be wrong on it, but yeah, give me London. Give me London by like a hair. AJ, one more. What's the leaf? Is that like a Canada? Is that the Canada thing? Are you from Canada, AJ?
That looked, yeah,
Uh,
that looked
I
like a
fuck with I fuck with
maple leaf.
Canadians. You know, I lived up in Canada for about 2 months, 2.5 months or so in Burlington,
I remember
Ontario,
that.
like right outside of Toronto. One more bench one non PPR. Cup, Puka, or Kirk. We got a bench one.
Kirk.
So we're benching Kirk. We're playing playing Cup and Puka. Mm,
You were gonna say Koopa.
I don't know what I was gonna say, but it's the Wake and Bake Show, folks. All right, Cup, Puka, Kirk. Damn, bro.
It's tough, no doubt about it.
Yeah, give me Cup and Puka. Gosh, I want to go Cup and Kirk possibly, but give
I
me
I,
Cup
I
and
was
Puka.
kind of leaning that way, but yeah, that's tough.
Mhm. Sure. Joshua, thanks, bro. Absolute toss up. Yeah, absolutely. It's a toss up. So, Douglas or Shaheed half PPR.
Oof. We just talked about Shaheed, and we said how interesting of a play
Mhm.
he could be, a big play threat with Derek Carr back, and he's played well with Derek Carr. That will be Shaheed. So, who's the what was it, Demario Douglas? Demario Douglas has been fantastic, man. He really has, and I've seen
I
some of his production when they're flipping through red zone. So I think I might go Demario Douglas here against the Giants.
I think, yeah, it's a good matchup. Demario Douglas is probably the better play and the safer play. Shaheed obviously just has that upside of, big play, just ability, one or two of those big
Yeah, it
plays. But yeah,
does.
I'm gonna go Demario Douglas here. He's gonna get more targets. He's gonna be at least I feel like he's gonna get more targets. Because Shaheed could be a little bit more involved now that, no Michael Thomas and all that. But yeah, give me Douglas as well. Let's go Douglas. Joshua said he's Canadian. That's what's up. Yeah, appreciate you, Joshua. We got a few Canadian fans out there. Mary says, "Gotta go. Great show as always. Appreciate you, Mary. Appreciate you." AJ said, "Right on. Appreciate you, AJ." All right. Greg London, 50 receiving yards, 8.5 basically fantasy points. Mm, I don't love any of it, but maybe the fantasy points if you want to do something. Kyle Pitts would probably stay away from Janu. All right, Carolina, Tennessee. What do we got going on there, Hammer?
Carolina and Tennessee, another one of these really just like WTF matchups. I
Mm.
do like Tennessee -3.5 at home. When it comes to those 3-point plays, those 3-point swings, I tend, if I could get the +3.5, I do like that. This is a field goal game. I would pick Tennessee on the money line here at -185. Over under is 36. That is pretty damn low. It's Steelers Bengals low. So over under is 36 there. Yeah, that should be a pretty low scoring game. Two very not very good offenses. Um Will Levis, I kind of want to see a little bit more from Will Levis. He had that really good game to start his career, and then it's kind of been not so great. So I do want to see some growth from Will Levis. Obviously, we talked about no Treylon Burks. We talked about DeAndre Hopkins being his main target and Derrick Henry as well. I'll take the Titans on the money line, -185.
Mm, the Titans. All right, pick two. TS said, "What's up, TS? Appreciate you, man." Mixon, Kyron, Puka. We got to sit one of these guys.
I'm sitting Mixon. Against the
Oh
Cardinals,
man,
the Puka and Kyron, I'm sitting Mixon.
yeah. Eh, It's tough because mixing, like we said a few times, mixing could be getting that work now, especially with Burrow
He
out.
could, and
Cup is back. They are
yeah.
going against, it is a good matchup. But what if Cup's scoring the tutties and then they're just winning by a bunch and Kyron's getting his work and Puka just doesn't get as much.
It's quite possible, but I do think with Kyler Murray in the fold, that could be a pretty up scoring some good points. So um Let me check in really quick. That Rams over under is 45.5. So there's going to be some good scoring to go around. Yeah, give me Kyron and Puka here.
All right. I'm gonna take Kyron and Puka, I think, as well. But Mixon is close. Mixon is close. Might go. I think we got to go Kyron and Puka. Matchup is just too good. Andrew, Bijan or Puka full PPR.
Yeah, I'm taking Bijan here.
Yeah, yeah. This is where we're going Bijan. Andrew, appreciate you. Yeah, we'll go Bijan here as well. Hopefully he gets that 20+ touches. Hopefully he does
He should get no less than 20+ touches every single game.
for sure. For sure. All right. I don't know if we like anything. Miles Sanders, 30.5 rushing yards. I mean, the Tennessee defense is pretty good against the run. Thielen, 67.5 receiving yards, 11.75 fantasy points. I think I might like that. Levis. Probably skip over him. Could we get a tutty from Derrick Henry?
We could, but I'm not. This game is just, it has the makings of a really, really low scoring game. I am not crazy about it. Henry obviously could break one. Ugh. Jesus.
But if anybody's going to score a tutty
Derrick Henry hasn't
on
been
either
that good
team,
over the last few
it's,
weeks.
it's got to
That's
probably
true.
be Henry, right?
Yeah.
All right, we don't love it though. We don't love it, so maybe we just stay away from it. But guys, when you're making these bets, like if you don't love it, just don't go with it. Don't just do it just because you think. Like find the good spots, right? The ones where it's not that high. Like you see, even a lot of the superstars, sometimes we just skip over it because it's just too high. That some of these what some of these bets are. New England and the Giants. What is that looking like, Hammer?
Yeah, it's looking like a fucking shit show. So Giants are a 4.5 point underdog at home, getting 4.5. I think I like that. I think I like the Giants plus 4.5 here at home. Over under, another one of these low scoring games. Over under is 36. There's some weather considerations here in New York at MetLife. So two not great offenses. I know Danny DeVito had a really good game against the Commanders the last time they played, but obviously New England and Bill Belichick, what they do to what they do to rookie and young quarterbacks, it's duly noted. I think I like the Giants plus 4.5. They're talking about mixing in Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi for whatever that's worth. Um, yeah, this is a tough one here. I do like the Giants plus 4.5.
You said it's a must-win week. Do we really think that Bijan is safer than Puka?
Not necessarily safer per se, but I think that the Falcons found a good formula. We hope anyway, because if Bijan's getting the ball, they have a chance to win. He's really productive. He's explosive. They need to stop dicking around with Bijan and give him. And I think the last game that the Falcons played kind of indicated that if you give Bijan the ball, good things are going to happen. So yeah, I'd still take Bijan over Puka. But listen, if you're feeling Puka and you like the matchup, it's go with your gut kind of situation. So, but I do think Bijan is going to play well.
I do think that Bijan is kind of safer as well because you know he's going to get those touches, right? I mean, I think I went over earlier or even last night it was where Puka, I mean, since Cup has came back, has had 7 targets every game, except for one game he had 12 targets. He's only had 100-yard games since Cup has came back. Otherwise, he hasn't gone over 70 yards in any of those games. And he's had 1 tutty. So I do like
Yeah,
Puka,
his
but I
his
think
his,
that
his
Bijan is
upside is definitely
just
limited when Cooper Cup plays. Yeah.
yeah, so give me Bijan. Is Puka gonna have sometimes one of these games like he had in week 7 where he went for the 154 even with Cup there? Yes, like that is gonna happen every once in a while, but it's not gonna consistently happen. So I think that you can feel safer that Bijan is going to get the football. So you can feel safe with Bijan. I think we can lock him in for like 15 carries at the least. I don't know how dumb Arthur Smith wants to play it now, but I think we can lock him in for at least like 15 touches even, like at a minimum, right?
Yeah, he should be getting 18 opportunities between rushing and receiving, and that should be the floor.
Yeah. Connor, what's up, Connor? Pick 4, full PPR: Swift, Bijan, Ramondre, Warren, McBride, Kincaid.
So
So
we're
we got to
sitting 2.
sit 1, 2, 2. Yeah, we're sitting 2 of these guys.
Think I'm sitting Ramondre. I in this scenario, I'm playing Bijan. I'm playing Warren. I think I'm playing Swift as well. Then it comes down to McBride and Kincaid. I like Kincaid, man. He's been really good. That's a tough one. Jesus. So I'm gonna go Swift, Bijan, Warren. Give me Kincaid as well. McBride, you could obviously make the argument, but I like Kincaid's involvement in that passing game.
Mm. Against the Eagles, they play. Oh, man. Damn, this is rough. I know
This is
Ramondre kind of played well last game. 25 touches. I mean, they're going against the Giants this week. Fuck. And you sit Swift against the Bills? Who'd you say you're sitting?
That's a tough one because so I took Swift, Bijan, Warren, and Kincaid. So Ramondre and McBride. And listen, you can make the argument for McBride to sit. The Giants defense has played a little bit better as of late. So listen, Ramondre could have a hell of a game. Swift, you can make the argument because of the tough matchup. But I think Swift,
Alright,
they have a nose for the end zone.
I'm going to sit Swift. And I'm going to sit Kincaid. And I know that might sound crazy. Can we sit
I mean,
Kincaid?
listen, you
I don't
could
know if we can
any
sit
of these guys
Kincaid,
that you sit
man.
can have a hell of a game. So I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it's all good matchups. I'm gonna sit Swift for just a simple who did I say who are they playing? They're
Eagles
playing
are playing
the
Buffalo.
Bills. I'm gonna sit them, but just
No,
because the Bills defense
yeah.
is kinda good, and it is full PPR. So I like the upside with Bijan. I like Ramondre. I mean, he got 20 carries last game. There's a good matchup for him. He's involved in the pass game. So give me Bijan, give me Ramondre, give me Warren because he's involved in the pass game, and they said they're gonna try and give him a little more work. So give me Bijan, Ramondre, Warren, and either McBride or Kincaid. I mean, no Michael Wilson. Hollywood's banged up, so like McBride is interesting. Like he could have one of those big games, but all right, I'm sitting Swift and I'm sitting McBride. I'm going Kincaid, Bijan, Ramondre, and Warren. That's what it's going to be. Diaz said, "Shut your mouth, Hammer." I need 7.4 points from Algier today. Pick 2, start full PPR. Thielen, Olave, Jacobs. I'm afraid of Jacobs' matchup against the Chiefs. We got 6 minutes, so we'll get to all the last questions.
Yeah, I can understand that, but at the same time, he's gonna get some work, even if he gets some work in the passing game. I think I'm taking Thielen for sure. Olave scares the hell out of me with Derek Carr, and it was just so night and day what we saw between Derek Carr and Jameis Winston. Give me Thielen and Josh Jacobs. I think Jacobs has a chance to score a touchdown.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Thielen and Olave. I like Jacobs, but I don't know, with no Mike Thomas there, hopefully they feed Olave, and I could be wrong about this, but let me go Thielen and Olave. Just got offered Tank Dell for Jamar Chase, Super said. Am I crazy for considering it?
If it's Dynasty, yes. If it's redraft, no. Redraft, I would take this deal.
If it's redraft, you want Tank Dell or over Chase?
I would try. I would try and get. I would try if it's redraft, super. I
Yeah,
would try and
yeah.
get Tank Dell and maybe a little extra. If it's Dynasty, no way.
No, we're not doing it for Dynasty, but yeah, for redraft, I mean, I don't think it's crazy for considering it. The only thing I will say is obviously Noah Brown was out last week. He's out this week again too. I mean, does Noah Brown somehow cut into a little bit? Like we saw Dell go into a slump a little bit,
He does.
for a few games there. So, can we still feel confident in Tank Dell like for the rest of the season over Jamar Chase? Even with Burrow out, Chase is still obviously the number one option there. T. Higgins has been kind of in and out of the lineup, hasn't been able to stay healthy. So, and Jamar Chase, I mean, we know all he needs is, one little slant that he can take to the house. So, no, I don't think you're crazy for considering it, but I don't think I would do it still. I think I just keep Chase.
That's fair.
I think I just keep him. I have Charbonnet on a clinch team, traded for Allen and Hawkinson when Burrow and Andrews went down. Okay. Walker manager trying to get Andrews, McLaughlin a fourth and $99 for Walker. Walker manager
It's a
trying to
lot
get
happening.
Andrews, McLaughlin fourth. So you're giving up Andrews basically. Giving up Andrews basically for Walker.
I don't know if I'm doing that.
I don't know if I want the running back. Like I'd rather just buy something else than with Andrews than a running back,
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't think I'm doing that.
Hold on, let's get Andrew real quick before we get back into that. Swift or Bijan, full PPR. Gotta be Bijan, right?
Yeah, I'm taking Bijan here.
Yeah, I'm taking Bijan as well. Taking Bijan as well. So Andrews is all I have left to trade for this all-in team that's in first place, no trade deadline. What y'all think?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that for Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
You know,
I mean, I know you have Charbonnet, but I don't need to have both of them. Not for a Mark Andrews price,
I would agree because then Yeah, no, I don't think I would do that for a running back, to be honest with you. I think I'm in agreement with you there.
I'm either waiting and like tearing down from Andrews, or I'm going to another position like wide receiver or in a quarterback deal or something. Unless the running back is like the last piece that you need to like complete your team, I don't want to do it. And listen, I'm somebody that just hates buying running backs in general, unless it's like absolutely that time. So I could not be the right person to ask, but I'm not. Yeah, not doing it. Not doing it. We've got a minute left here.
Yeah, buddy. I'm getting hungry, man. I need something to eat. I'm fucking starving.
Double check
It is
the.
upon us. Dum dum dum. It's locked up. 1 o'clock.
Oh no. No, I'm good. Good.
The
Yeah, I'm good. I checked everything. I checked everything beforehand. Hmm. Let's go, Whack Jones.
Oh,
All right, guys,
stop it.
everybody. Good luck. Good luck out there. Good luck in this
Yeah,
playoff
Steve's toast.
stretch.
He's toasty. Steve is toast Diaz. No, 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 nothing to worry. Nothing to see there.
I'm good. I need everybody to go for over 100. I need the bonuses. I need it all. So yeah, that kind of sucked that Hammers team went off, but I mean, it is what it is. I knew I was gonna be having a hard time with fucking Burrow going down. So anyway, appreciate everybody for watching the show today. We'll see y'all Tuesday night, 10 Eastern, right here. We've got the Dynasty show, so we'll talk Dynasty on Tuesday night. But any last words, Hammer?
Nah, man. Happy to get a win in the subscriber league. Let's go, baby.
Shut your fucking mouth. All right, guys, we out. Appreciate y'all.